Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 1 through 21. So Paul talks about a man he knows who was caught up into the third heaven. In the original Greek it says, I know a man in Christ who, ... We don't know for sure if it was Paul himself, and honestly, who it was doesn't really matter. There are speculations that this moment may have happened to Paul when he was stoned and left for dead outside Iconium, as we read in Acts 14, verse 19 through 20. But Paul shares this experience to show that God had uniquely and deeply touched him. Paul also opens up about a thorn in his flesh. Now, we don't exactly know what it was, and there are many speculations around this. In Galatians 4, verse 13 through 15, we can assume it may have been some kind of disease in his eyes. But again, guessing gets us nowhere. What the thorn actually was is not important. It hindered him in his ministry, and he asked God 3 times to remove it, but God said no. Instead of healing, God gave Paul something much greater. God gave him his grace, a strong character, humility, and the gift of empathizing with others. Sometimes God doesn't heal us from illness. He gives us grace, character, and humility to endure it, along with the promise that on the other side of this life, there will be no sickness, no pain, no tears, and no curse, just like Revelation 21 verse 4 says. Romans 8 verse 35 through 39 reminds us that no trouble, no hardship, persecution, famine, nakedness, danger, or death can ever separate us from God's love. We are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. Whatever we face in this life, Christ has already overcome it, and His grace is enough for us to endure. Paul boasted in his weaknesses because he was fully dependent on God. It's easy to depend on our own strengths, abilities, or resources when we feel strong, but only God can give us the strength, the resources, the wisdom, and abilities to do His work His way. When challenges come, God helps us overcome. Paul defended his authority by being honest about his feelings. The Corinthian church had hurt him deeply, so he defended himself, not for his own ego, but for the sake of the gospel. When others hurt us or lie about us, we often try to save our own reputation, but we should let God defend us and deal with those who act wickedly against us. Paul also explained that he never asked the Corinthian church for any support for himself, and he never did anything sneaky. Everything he did was for their edification and spiritual enrichment, and for people who had been commended by Paul for their spiritual gifts and great leadership. It's pretty hard to imagine everything just falling apart like this. My prayer and desire for you watching this is that you will always glorify God in all you do. Use your God-given spiritual gifts for the expansion of His kingdom, and always fully depend on Him. If you missed yesterday's message, I really want to encourage you to go back and watch it. These truths for these last 3 chapters have built together. And today, let's apply what we have discussed. Depend fully on God's grace, boast in our weakness, and use what He has given us for His glory. God willing, I'll see you in the next one. And until then, glorify God in everything that you do. And remember, you are deeply, deeply loved. Shalom.